It's no wonder so many people, so many Americans are well pissed, right? I kind of had to do a double take today when I saw announced the upcoming nuptials, the upcoming wedding between Amazon CEO, Chairman Jeff Bezos and his bride-to-be, Lauren Sanchez, and the $600 million wedding. Let's get into that today at the same time that Amazon workers are on strike, making an average of about $18 an hour, working 4 10-hour days a week, and, well, on strike in various cities throughout the United States for, well, a piece of the pie from a company that's earned almost $40 billion in profit in just the first 9 months of 2024. Let's get into it. And a very good morning to you from remote recording location here in Las Vegas. Wrapping up some volunteer work and a wonderful week of upgrading lighting and other things down at the church, and I really appreciate much of the support and the wonderful comments that you folks have made in looking in. And today is the annual Christmas dinner, which I want to help out today and give a hand, because we don't have this organization that was helping in Thanksgiving. That organization, BNP, is not going to be here today, so it's going to kind of be all hands on deck. But let's tear into this now. No wonder so many Americans are pissed. When you have a guy that is head of, well, a retail vacuum empire that is just sucking in hundreds of billions of dollars of revenue a year and kicking out $40 billion of profit almost in 9 months. And then you see what's going on in the rest of America today. And let me preface this by saying I'm not a socialist, I'm not a communist. I'm just a person that has eyes that sees what's going on in street level America now. And more people struggling to make rent. More and more people struggling to even buy a dozen eggs and keep food on the table. Food banks more and more stressed. And, well, rents, as I said before, and car payments and insurance that goes up on properties and things. It just gets to be a little much. It's really stressful. And we had these same kind of conditions in the late 1920s, where we had this tremendous run up in paper wealth in the market, and valuations now of $1 trillion and $1 trillion plus. I can't even imagine $1 trillion, right? In the stock market, and it's created this paper wealth that it's pushed the wealthy that are beneficiaries of that to the point, and I commend people for having insights, and Jeff Bezos for understanding, cut out the middleman, but there's a cost to America for that. And his reward is his wealth almost supernovas, and then, you know, it's like the rest of the working class people are left to struggle. And it becomes more and more across many and many more of these large mega cap, these big companies that are worth fortunes and making tremendous profits. So when people read about $40 billion of profits in 9 months, and now announcing today a $600 million wedding, and full disclosure, I don't believe it's going to be even $6 million. For a wedding in Aspen, Colorado, and buying out restaurants. If it's $600 million, are you going to buy every single person their own private jet that comes into the to the event? You get a private jet, you get a private jet, you get a Learjet. You know, it's a point, and then you read, well, he popped a question to Lauren Sanchez, his fiance, on a $250 million mega yacht. And I think to myself, even worse than the people that are struggling today to make ends meet and make a go of it, you have 5,000 children a day that are starving to death in the world. I, for myself, could not float around on a $250 million mega yacht a $1 million yacht, $100,000 boat at the same time that I have that knowledge in my head, right? When does it become a catastrophe for humanity when so many people go beyond the simple needs and everyday needs of life and just catering to every single possible want and desire out there? It has a real cost for the rest of the nation, and now we have in 3 or 4 cities striking Amazon workers, and now being backed up by some of the Teamsters going into Christmas. Now we can be selfish and say, okay, you know, we're not going to get our packages, this, that, and the other. But I think people need to wake up to the reality of, you know, an average Amazon driver in California making $22 an hour, 4 days a week, 10-hour days. Yeah, and I know you can get another job, go somewhere else. But jobs these days aren't that common that are going to pay that kind of wage. But even in a place like California, that wage is just not, you know, less than $50,000 a year. That's right. We know. We see what's going on with the cost of beef, the cost of eggs, the cost of milk, all this stuff. It's just insane, the cost of insurance. So it's like there's just that resistance to, you know, sharing that bounty with the people that work within your organization. And then I contrast that with somebody like Warren Buffett, who I never hear any dissatisfaction in his business empire, Berkshire Hathaway. From Nebraska Furniture Mart to Brown Shoes to See's Candies to Geico to, I don't think it may be Berkshire Hathaway Real Estate Services. The finger's in a lot of pies, a lot of oil company holdings. But I think that there's that sense that, you know, doing right by your employees and making the country better as a result of that, not gathering all that in greed. And looking at people standing out there making $18, $22 an hour, and, you know, basically giving them the FU, and you know, it just seems shocking to me. And it builds up this distaste, this tremendous distaste, similar to the late 1920s, before the bubble bursts of all of this untoward wealth and all this. It's almost like the era of the robber barons returning, where people can suffer and starve in the midst of plenty. And it's really, really not a very good optic as we move forward into 2025, a year that I think is going to be fraught with real dramatic social change. And that's something that I'll get into in a upcoming video. If you're not subscribed, could I ask you to take a moment, just hit that subscribe bell, subscribe and that bell for all notification, so you don't miss future uploads. I was asked to weigh in on this today if I saw this and if I would do a commentary on it. And well, people seem to enjoy the social commentary. So I'd love you to be a part of the channel, do all kinds of things from restaurant reviews to vintage audio, repair, renovation, volunteer work, metal detecting. It's a real fun variety channel, added crabbing and fishing. Love you to be a part of it. In the meantime, let me know what you think down below. $600 million wedding, $60 million wedding, $6 million wedding. Right. It's all so over the top today that people, I swear some of these people that sit atop these mega empires literally lose their minds and just get so consumed with the value of their own selves and their wealth that the distance between their thoughts and the rest of the nation are unbridgeable anymore. And it just goes to show this in-your-face mentality with my wealth. Well, as we know from physics, for every action, there's an equal and opposite reaction. And you can bet your life, one is in the wind, and I can feel it. Thanks for watching, everybody, and happy and Merry Christmas to all of you. Thumbs up or appreciate it.